Have you ever stopped to wonder why some women can walk through fires and emerge with even more grace than they had before? Why they seem to carry a storm in their soul but a calm in their eyes? This isn't coincidence. You're about to enter something deeper than a message. This is a revelation meant to stir the spirit inside you. Some women are not shaped by what they've gained, but by what they've endured. And it's time to uncover why. These women are not famous to the world, but they are famous in the spirit, not adorned with worldly crowns, but marked by heaven's quiet fire. Let's begin. The first mark. She turned her deepest wound into her sharpest weapon. When God calls a woman, He doesn't always lift her from luxury. Often, He meets her in her most shattered place. The chosen aren't chosen from castles, but from wildernesses. These women don't simply survive, they transform. They have walked through betrayal, abandonment, heartbreak, and loss. But instead of letting those scars define them, they let them refine them. They became warriors, in silence, fighting battles no one knew about, and coming out stronger for it. Her scars aren't symbols of suffering. They are proof of power. They speak of moments where she could have fallen apart but chose to rise. Like Joseph, who told his brothers, "What you meant for harm, God used for good." The same is true for the chosen woman. What was supposed to destroy her became the very thing that set her destiny on fire. Her suffering did not end her story. It began a new one. Take Hannah. She cried until her soul had no more words. She was mocked, misunderstood, and seen as less. But in her tears, she birthed a prophet. Through her agony, a legacy emerged. This is the pattern of the marked woman. Pain births purpose, and tears water calling. If you've ever cried alone but lifted your hands anyway, if you've ever had your heart broken and still whispered, "I trust you," then you carry this first mark. That heartbreak that nearly took you out. That's your oil now. That silence that once suffocated you. Now it sharpens your voice. Every betrayal carved strength into your bones. Every rejection gave you a new rhythm in your spirit. You are not weak for having wept. You are strong because you rose. Your wounds became swords. So ask yourself, has your deepest pain become the place where God now speaks through you? If so, you carry this mark. You are one of the silent warriors. And daughter, heaven knows your name. There's something you need to hear, and it might explain the ache that won't go away. Some women look like they have it all. The career, the relationships, the peace on the outside. But deep inside, something stirs. It's not anxiety. It's not boredom. It's a divine restlessness that won't let them settle. A quiet stirring that keeps whispering, "You were made for more." The second mark. She carries divine discomfort. This discomfort doesn't mean something is wrong. It means something is waking up. The chosen woman will often feel out of sync with her surroundings. She'll smile at the dinner table but feel like a stranger in her own life. And that's not failure. That's a signal. God is shifting her, stretching her soul beyond where she is now. She doesn't fit, not because she's broken, but because she's built for a different dimension. Hebrews 11:13 says they confessed they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. That's what you are when you're marked. You walk through this world, but never fully belong to it. You're called not to settle, but to and just like an eagle trapped in a chicken coop, your wings know it's time to rise. Look at Queen Esther. She was surrounded by luxury, dressed in royal robes, honored by the world. But her spirit was unsettled, because the crown wasn't her purpose. It was her position. She wasn't placed in the palace for comfort. She was positioned to deliver her people. That same stirring you feel, that's your own for such a time as this. Your agitation is not an accident. It's your assignment awakening. You might have prayed for peace, but instead you're feeling the stretch. You're being moved, rearranged, stirred from the inside out. That's not confusion. That's clarity on its way. And some of you have cried in frustration, saying, "Why can't I just be content? Why can't I be like everyone else?" Because you're not like everyone else. You're marked, you're set apart, and you are being called higher. Pay attention. Has your favorite job begun to feel heavy? Do the things that once fulfilled you now feel empty? That's not failure. That's the Father waking you up. That old place cannot contain your new purpose. You are outgrowing your assignment. The nest is being shaken, not to punish you, but to launch you. So if your soul feels itchy, unsettled, stirred, don't fear it. Follow it. That is the breath of God behind your back. That is heaven saying, "It's time to move, daughter. There's more for you." Some women cry and don't know why. They feel a heaviness in rooms that look cheerful. They sense heartbreak in others before a word is spoken. They carry tears that don't even belong to them. And for years, they've wondered if something was wrong with them. The third mark. She carries a sacred sensitivity to pain and injustice. Chosen women are often the emotional barometers of the spirit realm. Their hearts were not made to be numb. They were made to carry burdens that others can't feel. These are the women who cry during worship when no one else flinches, who stay behind after church because they sense someone needs prayer, who wake in the middle of the night with a name on their heart and a groan in their spirit. This isn't emotional weakness, it's spiritual weight. These are heaven's trusted intercessors, the ones God can whisper to in the dark, the ones who pray for strangers they've never met, the ones who mourn with those in pain and rejoice with those who are restored. They don't need applause. They're too busy crying for souls. When Jesus approached Lazarus's tomb, he already knew resurrection was coming, yet he wept. Why? Because compassion isn't tied to outcome. It's tied to presence. And the chosen woman carries that same divine compassion. She doesn't just pray for people. She prays as if she were them. She weeps with them, feels with them. She births in the Spirit what others can't even name. Yes, it's exhausting. Yes, it can feel lonely. But oh, it is powerful. Because while others analyze situations, she feels them. While others move on, she lingers. God speaks through her tears, and every time she cries, something in heaven is being moved. She may be the only one in a room sensing something is off. She may feel the brokenness others try to hide behind smiles. That's because she doesn't see with her eyes, she sees with her spirit. And while the world calls her too emotional, heaven calls her highly trusted. So if you've ever asked God, "Why do I feel everything so deeply?" Know this, it's not a flaw. It's a gift. Your tears water the unseen. Your prayers shake foundations. Your heart is not a burden, it is a vessel. And when you cry for others, angels move. You are the midwife of miracles. You carry not just pain, but power. There is a kind of woman who doesn't see conflict, yet it seems to follow her. She moves in peace, speaks in grace, and yet she finds herself surrounded by resistance, rumors, and rejection. And she wonders, why me? What have I done? The fourth mark. She is targeted for what she carries, not what she does. When you are chosen, you do not step into a playground. You step into a war zone. And the more aligned you are with heaven, the more disrupted hell becomes. Your obedience is louder than your voice. Your presence alone makes darkness uneasy. You don't need to provoke. Your very existence is a provocation to the spirit realm. Jesus said in Matthew 5:11, "Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you, because of me." Let that sink in. The slander is spiritual. The betrayal is prophetic. The opposition isn't about you, it's about what God has placed within you. You've been lit like a lamp, and light always attracts warfare. Think of Mary, the mother of Christ. Her simple yes to God unleashed a violent response from the enemy. Her pregnancy wasn't just miraculous, it was dangerous. She was hunted, shamed, forced to flee. Yet she remained. She endured the attack because she carried divine life. And you, woman of God, are no different. If the enemy has surrounded you with confusion, it's because clarity is about to be born. If gossip has followed your name, it's because your identity is a threat. If doors have slammed shut, it's because you were never meant to walk. You were meant to be launched. Stop wondering why they misunderstand you. Stop shrinking to avoid attention. Stop apologizing for your fire. You are not under attack because you are wrong. You are under attack because you are anointed. The devil doesn't chase emptiness. He only targets those carrying promise. And you, beloved, are carrying sitting, heaven-designed, and hell dreads. Don't hide your light. Don't lower your volume. Don't water down your fire. Because what you're feeling isn't punishment. It's proof. And just like Jesus was tested before he ever preached, you too must learn to dance in the fire before you step into your full calling. You are dangerous to darkness. You are not just a woman. You are a weapon. And the enemy knows it. Perhaps one of the hardest seasons for the chosen woman is not the battle others see. It's the silence no one notices. It's sitting in a crowd and feeling invisible. It's being surrounded and still sensing distance. Not because she's done anything wrong, but because God is doing something deep. The fifth mark. She is misunderstood and divinely isolated. The chosen woman is rarely fully understood. Her motives are questioned. Her stillness is misread as arrogance. Her boldness is mistaken for pride. But it's not because she lacks clarity. It's because she's walking a path few are called to walk. And where God is taking her, not everyone can follow. Even Jesus had to retreat. Luke 5:16 says, "He often withdrew to lonely places to pray," not to escape people, but to align with purpose. The wilderness is not a punishment, it's a preparation ground. When God chooses a woman, he sets her apart, not to abandon her, but to transform her where no other voices can reach. Think of Hagar, cast out, alone in a desert with her child. She thought she was forgotten, but it was there that she encountered the God who sees El Rai. Think of Moses, exiled before he led a nation. Think of David, anointed but overlooked, spending years with sheep before holding a crown. Their solitude wasn't rejection. It was sacred shaping. So if you found yourself left out of the circles you once fit into, if the calls have stopped and the invitations have dried up, don't mourn. Rejoice. That's God pulling you closer, setting you apart. He's not hiding you because you're unworthy. He's hiding you because you're valuable. The place you feel forgotten in is the very place God is fortifying you. That silence, it's sacred. That loneliness, it's holy ground. You are not being punished. You are being preserved. You're being pruned so that your fruit will remain. Because when he brings you back into the light, you won't be the same woman who entered the darkness. The world calls it isolation. Heaven calls it insulation, a time of refinement, a cocoon for transformation. You're not being left behind, you're being lifted up behind the scenes. And when the time comes, your reintroduction will be greater than any recognition you've ever craved. You are becoming something unshakable. You are being prepared, not for applause, but for assignment. And your silence is not empty. It's sacred strategy. There are women who shine brightly on stages, and then there are women who bloom in the shadows. The chosen woman often finds herself doing her most meaningful work unseen. No applause, no spotlight, no recognition. And yet, heaven is watching. The sixth mark. She grows while hidden. It may feel like you've been forgotten, like all your labor is swallowed by silence. But let me tell you the truth. You haven't been buried. You've been planted. And there's a world of difference. A buried thing is meant to disappear, but a planted seed, it's meant to rise, to break through, and to bear fruit in time. Isaiah 45:3 says, "I will give you treasures of darkness, riches stored in secret places." That means some of the most powerful things God builds He builds away from human view. When you're chosen, God often does his deepest work in the dark, in the hidden seasons where no one claps, no one thanks you, and yet you keep going. Think about Ruth. No title, no platform, no recognition, just quiet obedience in a foreign land. Yet her faithfulness in the fields positioned her for legacy. Think about Joseph, locked in a prison, seemingly forgotten, yet right where God needed him to prepare for promotion. Think about Moses, shaped in the silence of the wilderness before becoming a deliverer. If you are a single mother raising children in quiet strength, if you are a woman sowing into your family without credit or visibility, if you're praying for others when no one notices, hear me. You are growing in the dark, and that growth is not less sacred. It's more, because what is rooted in secret will be revealed in glory. This is the mark of the chosen. They don't chase stages. They chase substance. They don't beg for validation. They become vessels. Their strength doesn't come from being seen. It comes from being sown. The darkness around them is not evidence of failure. It's proof of formation. God is building something in you that cannot be shaken. And before he reveals you, he grounds you. Because only what has roots can carry rain. Only what has endured pressure can carry power. So keep digging deep, woman of God. The world may not see you now, but heaven is preparing a moment for your emergence. You are not overlooked. You are being overhauled. You are not invisible. You are invincible in the making. Keep growing. Keep serving. Keep sowing. Your roots are holding glory. If you've carried the fire of the first 6 marks and you're still here, still praying, still believing, still rising, then you're about to walk in the most radiant proof of your calling. The 7th mark. She holds joy that defies circumstances. There is a rare kind of woman whose praise doesn't depend on her paycheck, whose peace isn't tied to her surroundings, and whose joy dances even when tears run down her face. While others sink in sorrow, she sings in it. While others break in barren seasons, she builds altars. This kind of joy doesn't come from good news. It comes from a good God. It's not the absence of pain, it's the presence of purpose. It's what Habakkuk described when he said, "Even if the fig tree doesn't blossom and there's no fruit, still I will rejoice in the Lord." Habakkuk 3:17-18. That kind of joy is not denial. It's defiance. It's rebellion against despair. It's warfare with a melody. This woman doesn't fake strength. She's been forged by it. She's cried through long nights, walked through closed doors, and still found a reason to raise her hands and whisper, "It is well with my soul." She's not smiling because life is easy. She's smiling because God is present. Remember Jeremiah 17:8. She is like a tree planted by water, whose leaves remain green even in drought. That's you. While others are drying up, you're digging deeper. While others mourn without hope, you grieve with hope. You've learned that joy isn't about ignoring pain, it's about standing in the middle of it and declaring, "You don't win." And oh, how the enemy hates joyful women. Because sorrow can be endured, but joy breaks chains. Joy spreads. Joy overflows. Joy says, "I'm still here. I still believe. I still worship." The woman in the hospital room who smiles anyway. The mother who claps in the kitchen with bills on the counter. The daughter who worships through disappointment. That's a dangerous woman. That's a marked woman. That's you. So if you've been wondering, how have I survived? How do I still have joy? It's because you've been anointed to do more than endure. You've been appointed to glow through the gloom. You are not just any woman, you are a chosen, not because life has spared you, but because you've walked through it with sacred strength. These 7 marks. They're not flaws. They're your confirmation. They're heaven's fingerprints, stamped into your journey, etched into your soul. You've been misunderstood, isolated, wounded, tested, and hidden, not for shame, but for shaping. You've been prepared in private for a purpose that will shake the world. So rise, beloved. Stand in your calling. Wear your scars like armor. Carry your tears like oil. And let the joy you carry echo louder than any pain that tried to silence you. Because you, woman of God, you are marked. You are mighty. And you were made for. If this message echoed in your heart, and you recognize even one of these 7 marks in your own story, go to the comments and declare, I am marked. I am a chosen woman. Let the enemy hear it. Let your soul believe it. Let your sisters be reminded. Heaven knows exactly who you are.